Hello and welcome to Simple-ESL. If you're aiming to study or work confidently in English, this C1 level test is for you. We'll explore what advanced English means and put your skills to the test. So let's see if you're at a C1 level. We're looking at your comprehension, your grammar, vocabulary, and writing to see if you're functioning at an advanced level. We'll do this with some tests and some fun activities. If you would like a copy of the worksheet to test your skills, go to the QR code to all my links where you'll find that information. Now, what are the levels we are talking about? We are using the CEFR guide. So this is the Common European Framework of Reference and is used around the world to measure English ability. It has levels from beginner to advanced, with A0 being complete beginners and C2 being expert level. So at a C1 level, you're close to expert or almost fluent, completely fluent in English. And we can use this to help set up lessons and to guide you through your English learning. Now, this is the level that is required for most university courses or professional jobs. So if you're thinking of studying in the UK, this is the level you need to be at really to do so. It shows accuracy, fluency, and a good control of tone and vocabulary. We should be able to understand long, complex texts, express yourself fluently without much hesitation, use flexible language in social, academic, and professional conversations. So knowing what words or what language patterns to use in each situation, and write clear, well-structured texts with appropriate style and tone. Here are some examples of the sort of language you might use. If you understand these types of sentences easily, you might already be working at a C1 level. So while I understand your point, I'd argue the opposite for several reasons. The film's success can be attributed to its emotional depth and sharp dialogue. I wasn't aware that the meeting had been moved. No one informed me. Having lived abroad for several years, I developed a broader perspective. The speaker made a compelling case, although some of her claims were questionable. If you understand or get the gist of what we are talking about here, you could be at a C1 level, but let's test that now. I would like you to choose the best answer. Listen, although the proposal was ambitious, it was ultimately rejected due to budget constraints and lack of stakeholder support. What is the best option here? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The proposal was rejected for multiple reasons. So it didn't succeed, the proposal wasn't successful, and it had strong financial backing. We don't know this information. Rejected due to lack of budget restraints. So the proposal was rejected for multiple reasons, not just one reason, and it wasn't successful. Let's try another test. It's not that I disagree entirely, but I believe the report failed to address several key concerns. What is the best option? 3, 2, 1. The speaker disagrees, but only slightly. It's not that I disagree entirely, so we can't say that they disagree with everything, and we can't say the report was perfect or that they agree with the report. But they feel it failed on several key concerns. So the speaker disagrees, but only slightly. Bit of a reading comprehension exercise here. I want you to take a moment, possibly pause the video and read the text, and then we're going to answer the questions. What was the issue? What is the text about? What solutions are becoming more common? What is the problem despite the changes? What benefits do companies see when they prioritize well-being? What tone does the author use? Critical, optimistic, or neutral? I'll give you 3, 2, 1. And if you've paused the video and pressed play, it's time to answer some of these questions. So what was the text about? So the text is talking about flexible working, remote working, and stress levels whilst working and job satisfaction. What are solutions becoming more common? It's addressing the work-life balance. That's the major concern with jobs and people being happy and satisfied. What is still a problem despite these changes? So we're seeing increased productivity and job satisfaction, which is a good thing. But despite these changes, employees still report high levels of stress. What benefits do companies see from well-prioritized work for well-being? They see an increase in productivity and job satisfaction. And what tone does the offer use? Critical, optimistic, or neutral? I can't say that it would be a critical tone. It would be either optimistic or neutral. At this stage, I would say neutral. There is some optimism, but we're not seeing a lot of optimistic language. It seems quite a neutral paragraph. Now, grammar and vocabulary. I would like you to use the correct word or phrase to fill in the blank. I had known. I have spoken to her. I would have spoken to her. Had I had known, I would have spoken to her. So this is an inverted conditional structure. Common and advanced levels. So had I known, if I had known, but this is more formal. He speaks English. He were a native. 3, 2, 1. He speaks English as if he were a native. As if introduces an unreal comparison. We use the past subjunctive, difficult to say, we're after it. So we use the past subjunctive, we're after it. I'm not convinced that this is the best approach. 3, 2, 1. I'm not entirely convinced that this is the best approach. Entirely is the correct adverb. Entire is an adjective, so we want the adverb, and entirely with 2 L's is a misspelling. She was praised for her response. She was praised for her response to the crisis. She was praised for her responsive response to the crisis. Responsive means reacting quickly and effectively and fits the context. The others would have different meanings. However, I would say in English, this is a bit repetitious. A lot of repetition with responsive response. This uses this very similar language. Perhaps we could find something else to fill the gap that would make the sentence better. The manager insisted that the report by Friday. The manager insisted that the report be finished by Friday. So we're looking for the subjunctive mood used after the verbs to insist in formal English. So we use be finished instead of will be finished or was finished. These don't match what we're looking for. A little bit of dialogue completion here. I'd like you to complete the conversation in your own words. I'm not sure this is the right direction for the project. Maybe, but we've already invested time in the current plan. So what do you suggest we do next? This is an example of a dialogue you may be having in a workplace or at school or university when you're working on a task. And these are the sort of responses you'll get. So try to fill in the conversation with your own words. And a bit of sentence correction. Each sentence contains a high-level grammar or style error. I would like you to correct them. Despite of the delay, we still arrived on time. Despite the delay, we still arrived on time. So we remove of. Despite is a preposition and doesn't require of. It's important to keep you updated with all. It's important to keep you update with all changes. May have given you the answer there. Let's go 3, 2, 1. It's important to keep you updated with all the changes. So as I maybe tipped my hand, update is a verb. Here we need to use the past participle adjective, so updated. The data, although incomplete, are still useful. 3, 2. The data, although incomplete, is still useful. In modern usage, data is commonly treated as uncountable singular in everyday English. So we would say is still useful. He suggested to reschedule the meeting. He suggested rescheduling the meeting. To suggest is followed by the gerund, not an infinitive. He suggested rescheduling the meeting. I look forward to meet you in person. I look forward to meeting you in person. So similarly to the last one, look forward to is followed by a noun or gerund, not the base form. So we're looking for meeting you in person. And we have a free write opportunity here. I'd like you to write a short paragraph about an opinion. I'd like your opinion on whether you think remote working should be standard practice. Include at least one linking phrase, one conditional sentence, and one opinion phrase. And we have my example answer here. In my opinion, remote working should remain an option for most employees. It provides flexibility and reduces commuting time. If people can manage their tasks independently, there's no need for constant supervision. On the other hand, it may affect team communication. However, with good online tools, collaboration is still possible. Overall, I believe remote working increases productivity and should be encouraged. If you can write a similar statement to this, you are well on track to being at a C1 level and perhaps ready to look at the C2 playlist. And with that in mind, how did you do? So 0 to 3, perhaps you need to go back a step and review the B2 playlist. 4 to 7 correct, you're most probably at a C1 level and this is a great playlist for you. If you got more than 8 correct, you could consider trying the C2 test to see if you're ready to jump up to the next playlist. So count your answers. If you're scoring above 8, you're likely at a C1 level and maybe even a C2 level. Now, what can we do next? We can try the C2 English test, we can watch the C1 grammar conversation lessons, and we can subscribe for more English lesson practice. And take the free quiz worksheet on our Patreon, which you can find using the link below to all my links and finding our Patreon page. We also have links for tutoring services, so you can get money off tutoring. And if you want to become an English tutor yourself, there's an article I have written from my point of view from teaching with Cambly. This is a great place to start and a great place to learn and practice your conversational English. But I think we are ready to move on to our C2 test. So I will see you in the C2 test or in our C1 playlist.